I never was that kid that said, I'm gonna be a doctor when I grow up. It was actually nothing that I thought about quite early on. I went through college and I was kind of a jock. I played volleyball and I was in band. I was just trying to develop any interest, and my parents really let me do that. So that was an amazing thing. And then I went to college actually to become a biomedical engineer because I thought it was fascinating. My dad is very hands-on. He always, taught me how to build things with my hands and do things with my hands all the time. And then my mom was the same in the kitchen. She always taught me how to do things with recipes and improvise, and she sewed and did crafts with us. So I was always a very hands-on person, and that seemed like a natural segue to either do biomedical engineering or to do something in medicine. When I got to medical school, that changed from orthopedic surgery to vascular surgery because I liked the smaller technical aspect a little bit more. And so that's when I decided on internal medicine, and the rest is kind of history.
Usually what I would say is that she can see things 2 or 3 or 4 steps ahead. And so I think her passion truly is to care for people in a very humanitarian way.
She will never expect of someone else what she knows they cannot accomplish or what she herself hasn't done before. She is always ready to rise to the challenge. And God knows, she is very deserving of this award. She gives way beyond 100% of herself, always. She's very efficient in her work, which is great.
She wants to make sure everything is done before we start rounding. Every patient is seen, and she reviewed and actually read about her patients so she can answer questions about patient care. And she was little bit inclined to take cardiology, so she came and met with me. I said, Sean, heart is just there to pump the blood. You need lungs to supply the oxygen, and you're gonna love pulmonary critical care. And she was torn, and she actually finally decided for our own good sake to join us in Pulmonary Critical Care Medicine Fellowship. And we were fortunate to have her join us as a faculty. I couldn't thank her enough that she joined us during the time when we are struggling with the number of faculty we have and trying to recruit more faculty to expand the program and take care of our patients.
Sometimes you're just thrown at the right place at the right time, and you don't always know it. It just happens for a reason. At least I think you have to believe that and have faith in that. My program director at the time said, hey, you have this passion for interventional procedures and pulmonary procedures, and we don't have somebody that does that here. If you'd be willing to stay on, we can develop that interest for you. We can help you get that education that we don't offer. And we just ask that you consider staying on as faculty after. At that point, I remember going home to my husband and saying, who am I? This is awesome that there's this faith, this huge leap of faith in my faculty at the time that he was going to give me this opportunity. And so we said, let's do it. It's fun, it's exciting. It could be a career pathway. And we actually didn't think of it as a career at that point. It was just what's the next step? What do we need to do to make ourselves better?
It's almost like a craftsman, like a master carpenter, and there's a lot of skill, but it's different than the medicine, and it's a lot more routine. So I think the challenge of the ICU, the challenge of pulmonology, of things constantly changing, has always been an interest.
So I do a lot of outcomes research with Dr. Sharma, and we just kind of look at, what's going on in the nation as we know it. What do we know is going on, and then how do we look for solutions in the future to make sure that we can help our patients?
Went through this pandemic. Early on, we were looking onto our numbers, and then we realized that it's going to be on us. So my go-to person was Sean. So I asked Sean, I said, hey, I want you to put together all the policies and procedures, all the protocols, so we want to make sure there is one standard of care across the health system, how we are managing these patients. And I understand that things are changing every day. So boy, she worked hard on it. Within 2 days, she actually had almost 30-page protocol developed how we want to manage these patients based on the information that was available at that time. And it is circulated across our health system. Everybody knows about it. And I think those are the things that you really want to see in a person leading during these uncertain times.
It's never been, what can you do for yourself? It's always been, how do you fit into the bigger community? And everybody has a role, whether you think it's big or small, it's always a large impact. So any decision you make, it's kind of that butterfly effect. Whatever you do affects you, affects the person around you. And I've had so many good influences in my life that I just want to be that influence for somebody else.
Congratulations, Sean. I could not be more proud. It's nice to see the recognition of all the long hours, the hard work. It's nice to see that from those outcomes, people really understand how much you're dedicated, and you're a great asset to UTMB, but just an inspiring person for our daughter too.
I think there are many more awards for you in future, and have a successful and blissful life. I'll always be there for you for anything you need.
You are a powerhouse. I have told you before, don't ever second guess yourself. You are a tremendous physician with great commitment and compassion at the bedside. You are a tremendous friend. You have been for so many years now, and I love you. And we have a lot of fun together, and I look forward to many more years, whether we retire at UTMB together, or we retire and then go have a farm together with all the dogs or goats or chickens. And anyway, whatever the plans are, I know it'll be good.
I think the one thing that women understand well is that there are so many people that contribute to success. And there's so many to name that I can't possibly, but know that all of the UTMB staff that has raised me since I've been a child in medicine and are still here today, and those of you that have left, thank you so much for contributing to my education. Also, thank you to the Galveston Regional Chamber of Commerce for nominating me and recognizing me. I do hope that all the future generations of women will also realize what an incredible feature that this is. Thank you.